Welcome to day number 2 of the Boise, Idaho adventure with James. And today was a paddleboarding day. So all that work I did to get my paddleboard, I actually used it. So that is cool. Yeah, we went out to Lucky Peak Cliff. A peak is a cliff. Lucky Peak State Park, and there's a little bit of waterway out there. It's near a lake on the other side of some dam or thing that blocks it. I don't know the geography, but anyway, I met my friends Mimi and Greg and their kids, and we went out there, and they had 2 paddleboards, so 3 of them total, and it was fun. I was trying out the paddleboard for the first time to see if I had spent enough money, because I picked a more inexpensive one. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on something that I don't know how many times I'll do it, maybe once, maybe today was the day, in which case it would have been cheaper to rent a board. But I think I will use it more than once. And yeah, it worked great. It was it's the size that I have worked with before, 32-inch wide. So if you're wider than that, then it's more stable, of course, and easier. And it does better when the waves get a little choppy from boats, but there's no boats out there. But the wind was blowing so strongly at times, it actually made a tiny bit of chop. So yeah, it'll work fine. It's just, and if anything, it forces you to become better at balance on your paddleboard. If you, you have to, otherwise. I actually didn't stand up very much. I was mostly just sitting and stuff like that. I mean, it's then it's just not stand-up paddleboarding, but just paddleboarding. So that's fine with me. Yeah, so it was nice. I got some nice sunlight, hopefully not too much. I did use sunblock though, and the sun wasn't that direct. I think it was kind of already 4 o'clock when we were out there. So that helped, but you can never be too careful. Never have too much sunscreen on. Never have too much salt in your eyes. So that was fun. And yeah, we went until actually almost till about 8. They closed at 8, so we were there until then, and then had to deflate the paddleboard and put all the pieces back in the bag, and everything fit. Everything fit. It was all good. Everything's a beautiful fit. Beautiful fit. It all fit very nicely. It's fun to practice that. So yeah, and then we went back to their place and had some food, and they were very generous to give me a burger. And so I wasn't, because I had not eaten since, I guess, breakfast, and even that I really didn't have much. So, but as I would tell people, if I can go 21 days without food, I can go 1, but I didn't. I mean, and then after that we watched Beauty and the Beast. We actually were talking about some of the past shows we did, which I didn't do the one we watched. They did, but I didn't. And I was curious, how was it without me? It was and I would have auditioned. I would have loved to have been on that show, but it happened when I'd already had a trip planned to Europe with some friends, and I couldn't back out of that. So it just didn't work out. And who knows? Maybe I wouldn't have been cast to the same role again. I don't know. But it was fun to see it. I mean, because this time it was indoors, not outdoors, so it was a different set. Yeah, it was kind of neat. And obviously for all of us, we miss the musicals out there. We miss all the fun we had, because the new staff or the pastor just tore it all down, just destroyed it. So yeah, I will bring up that until I die. Anyway, so that was fun. It was a good day, very long day. And then I figured when I got home I could have a tiny bit to eat, but then thought, nah, I don't know. I had a few M&Ms and that's it. I think that'll be it. Tomorrow is going to be a lot of food here. Lots of food here tomorrow, so there'll be chances for me to eat then. All right, a bit sore from all of those 2 things. So I guess that's it. I hadn't thought of anything else to talk about. I did, actually. I had mentioned to my friend, it's almost next week it'll be 5 months without any alcohol, and she said, "Do you miss it?" And I thought, it's a question that I don't always know how to answer. I said I miss the wine, definitely miss wine. If I had to say one thing that I do miss, it's the wine. The beer, I don't know. sometimes a little bit. It's like I miss beer when it's like perfect, like it's a hot day or whatever. I mean, there was a couple times we went hiking and afterwards we had pizza and beer, and those beers tasted great. But I don't miss beer when it's like you've had like 2 or 3 and you don't even feel it anymore, and it's like, what's the point? And then you get a headache later and you feel like your stomach doesn't feel right, and you know you've consumed a lot of excess calories. That part I don't miss. So I thought, it's just like, yeah, it's like I only want the beer when it's like that special occasion stuff. And as far as spirits too, do I miss spirits? I don't know, maybe the fun we had trying like a 18-year-old scotch or something like that, or even a 12-year-old scotch. Those types of things maybe I miss. On the rocks, the Highland Sling was a drink I learned to like. Yeah, some of the, I wouldn't say mixed drinks as much as, I mean, they technically are, but they were closer to the original spirits. I guess I consider a mixed drink or whatever, like a Manhattan or whatever, or a tequila sunrise or something. But when it's more purer, like a margarita is kind of more pure if it's made the right way. So I do kind of miss that to some degree, and the good wine, I miss that. But other than that, 5 months, and then 5 weeks, it'll be 6 months, half a year. So it's just going to keep going, I guess, for now. I always say, how close am I to actually just saying, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to drink? Not very, actually. I don't want to start over the record. I think I talked about all this yesterday or a day before or something. I don't know. All right, that's it. Let's keep this one shorter and get some rest, which will be good, because I worked hard today. Where's the button? There's the button.